Hi, everybody, and welcome to probably for one of the last weeks here of the season, one of our nightly bastards post game pitiful performance shows. I am Nick. I guess the sun's out. Brendan's here.
Sun's out, guns out, right?
Not for the Red Sox, but I guess for you.
Yeah.
We had another one. Another one, folks. 7-0 at one point. Red Sox were losing. Tanner Houck was your starter. He was atrocious. Went 3 innings. Gave up 6 runs. Red Sox fought back, thanks in part to some of the young guns. That's Emmanuel Valdez and William Abreu with some big hits and everything, but there's no more fighting them. They weren't able to come back and get the comeback win. They end up losing 9-7 tonight. Brendan and I are here. We're going to break down a little bit of the game, talk a little bit about what our thoughts are as the final week of the season hits, and see where we go from here. So, Brendan, Tanner Houck was your starter. I'm
Yep.
pretty done with that. I don't know about you. All
Oh
set.
yeah, Nick, I'm with you. I mean, I think Tanner's role as a starter for a team like this, in a market like this, where we're about more than being a 500 team, struggling to get that final wild card spot. That's what we're about more in Boston than anything, and that hasn't been the case in this era lately. It's been the dark ages. That's why you've seen him as a starter along with Garrett Whitlock. I think there's a real possibility that he's actually in a trade package. I actually really like the idea of a package with Verdugo, with
Christmas package.
a Christmas package out to Cleveland for
Terry
Shane
Francona.
Bieber. That's what I'm thinking now is Shane Bieber for Verdugo. You throw in Houck or Whitlock, one of them, and then maybe a prospect that you don't like. I mean, there's Romero, there's tons of guys in there. I'm not saying sell the cornerstone pieces of the franchise. I'm not saying Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer are all of a sudden gone with the new ownership, but I'm saying that there are moves to be made to improve the big league club as you wait for these guys to come down the pipeline.
Shane Bieber was my pick to begin the season as the AL Cy Young winner. Just
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm being fully transparent with you from that. I think he had a down season. I don't think that the guy is done. I
I don't
would
think so.
entertain a move like this. I look at Tanner Houck in a couple different ways. At the beginning of the year, I was very adamant about him being a member of the rotation because of his mental toughness and his ability to just compete. I always liked that ability that he had. Got hit in the face and everything, kind of ruined, not really kind of, it did really set him back this season and everything. I don't even know if I want him in the bullpen to truthfully for next season. So that's something, Brendan, I would entertain that move if we put something together with the Hulk, with a Verdugo of some sorts, just to clean house and get a fresh start. The only other thing I could have kind of a glimmer of hope with Hulk is with a different pitching coach. If Dave Bush is back next season, I have no idea what this ownership is doing. I
Yeah.
don't. If that is the one person on this team, I know some are big on Carlos Fabulous as third base coach. Yeah, he needs to go and everything too. But Dave Bush cannot come back next season. Cannot. I would
No
install
way. Yeah.
like a Pedro Martinez in there, and to a caliber like that. I know Pedro has so much other things going on from that, but if he can at least be a mentor of sorts to this team and get these pitchers on a different program, a different rhythm, a different system, I think at least the future can look a little bit more bright with what we have down the line. But I can't sit here and I can't watch another season of the same song and dance. I can't.
And Nick, my biggest point is I don't want to stockpile in one room when it comes to bulk relievers. I mean, we're talking Winkowski, Murphy, Pavetta, Whitlock, how the list goes on of these relievers that you're counting on going three to four innings. Well, I don't want to do the openers anymore. That is not my philosophy going into next
Not mine
season.
either.
Is I want starters that are going to give you at least six a night. which means
I
after
agree.
that, you can throw in whether it's Yolvera or Winkowski in the middle to set up for Murphy and Jansen in the 8th and 9th. So that's why I'm willing to sell on these relievers that really built up their stock, these bulk guys, in a package with a Verdugo that you have a lot of outfielders coming in the pipeline right now, along with prospects that you don't believe in, not the cornerstones, but the that you think you go get starting talent for the club. Not go all out on Dylan Cease. Maybe Corbin Burns is in there, but there are packages out there. I think Chicago might be ready to sell. They weren't ready at the deadline. I think they could be ready now that they know that they couldn't get a buyer. They
I
couldn't
don't
get a
know
buyer
if
at the
you
deadline.
I don't know if you heard the report that came out today, but the Padres are looking to really slash their payroll for next
Yes.
season and everything too. So I am intrigued on what the Padres would sell off. Could it be names like a Juan Soto of the world? Could it be Xander Bogaerts? Could it be, I know those are bats and everything, but could it be some strong caliber pitching and everything that the Padres had? Would they be willing to part with some of those? And would the Red Sox entertain some of the players that could be on the Padres? I mean, that's to be determined. My biggest thing, Brendan, and we talk about the change of the change in philosophy without Bloom and everything here, is I can't sit here and I can't go through the same openers. I can't go through some of the same management people that are in play. I need change. I need change. And the only way that happens is if you install people who are going to get a better just a better overall flow of what your team's going to look like. Pitching is the number one for me that needs an overhaul. But I got to tell you, too, I am not sold on Connor Wong as my catcher long term. Absolutely not. You have a big time left handed hitting problem on figuring out who you're keeping, who you're not. Trevor Story concerns the Evan Lovin crap out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Trevor Story is my equivalent to Chris Sale. I just want to put that completely out there. I don't see this guy lasting here in Boston. I do not see him producing anywhere near what his contract is. I don't. So I think you really got to find a team like the Dodgers. Remember when we had Adrian Gonzalez and Josh Beckett and all that back in 2012? Well, we need a get out of jail free card again, is what we need to reset some things around here. New blood, new whole system, new
Nick,
system of youth, of hungry players, motivated, that are also very durable. Durability is a major problem with this team. Athletic, and that you can count on. That is a big thing for me on my Christmas list of the off season that I need some check marks on. And if I don't get some of those things, I will be crying Christmas morning. I know other things happen. It's a long played out off season. I'm just trying to have some humor and everything into our dreaded days of September. But that's at least my interpretation and hope of what we see moving forward. You need change, and you need somebody who is atop that chain of command who will deliver and not bloom it.
Nick, I think the first objective of the new leadership for baseball operations is going to be the Chris Sale contract and finding a suitor for it. I think it's going to be a lot like getting David Price out of here. It's going to be like that, trying to find someone to eat the contract or at least be willing to take the player, because the Red Sox cannot rely on having a man of paper run the hill anymore. I'm sorry, you can't rely on Chris Sale to be that starter.
You know I'm a bag of tricks, right? I like to pull rabbits out of my hat like that. I have the
Always
Chris Sale solution. You ready for it?
having fun here.
I can't even rip a piece of paper. And that right there shows you who around baseball would want the guy. I'll just leave it at that. We'll see
Texas.
you tomorrow on our next Who Cares game of the season.
Yep.
Good night.